It's not almost the new year. I hope you can whip up some good drinks in that mixing drum. Maybe afterwards you can also whip up something for the morning after. Some of us are gonna need it. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. Welcome to 2026. We're gonna try to do some interesting things during the course of the year. Especially since coming up soon we will be celebrating the channel's 10th anniversary. But let's get started with our current month. This month we're going to take a look at some combiner components. We got the last of the ones from the combiners of last year, plus one that's going to be done for this year. So let's kick things off by taking a look at the Constructicon Mixmaster. Now, of course, this is the Studio 86 version of Mixmaster. Several months back, we did take a look at his Generation 1 counterpart, since I didn't know how soon I would have Mixmaster. So that was before we got the idea to do a review of both of them together. But at least in this way, you get to see the two of them together. Before we go too far, I want to give a shout out to my brother and his YouTube channel, Cyclonus150, for helping to find Mixmaster. I've told him going on business trips sometimes pays off. At any rate, to kind of give a refresh for those of you who may have missed the previous video, or those of you new to the channel, Mixmaster, the original, this one right here, came out in 1985. He functions as the materials fabrication person for the Constructicons. Basically, he's a glorified chemist. He pretty much can make any sort of chemical or materials that are needed in his mixing drum. And in a lot of cases, he's not too picky about what he uses, as he's been known to throw in even living creatures or Autobots into the mixing drum. So that would say, yeah, he's borderline psychotic, but he is a master of chemistry. So that makes him one of the three smart figures in the Constructicon line, following their leader, Scrapper, and of course, Hook, the team's doctor. And of course, the Generation 1 Mixmaster came with a boatload of accessories, because he had his own gun, he came with Devastator's gun, and he had a couple of different options for the piece above his head. As we can see, Hasbro has eliminated the need for the chrome pieces to attach to the head. The American one could have done away with them too, since they were intended as a launcher. And in 1985, the launchers were neutered, so that they really had no propulsion at all. So that's a nice change to update the modern figure. But let's take a look at the modern one's accessories all the same. So he does come with his own gun, which unfortunately it's a radical departure from the original's gun. Here's the original one, and if my butterfingers will hold on to it, here's the modern gun. And as you can see, they really don't look like each other very well. I mean, the barrel is about the similar shape, but that's about where the similarities end. So, little disappointment, but it's not deal-breaking in any way, really. Then the next accessory you need to look out for, especially if you buy him loose, is his mixing drum. Because the mixing drum is unattached on the toy when you buy it, brand new. Unfortunately, it does not rotate. It is a static piece, unlike on the original where you could spin it. That may not come well on camera, so take my word for it. I got no reason to lie to you folks. I'm not in politics. But it does have a little bit that folds in and out. This is mainly used for transforming him. Like I said, it comes permanently detached. It comes detached on the figure when you buy him brand new. And it just basically, you just slide it in, it snaps on pretty good. And you get the big end folded inside. And then it just snaps up like that. So do bear that in mind if you do buy one loose. He should have the mixing drum. If he doesn't have that, your Devastator's not going to look right. Now we'll take a look at his articulation, and as you can imagine, he has considerably better articulation than his 1980s counterpart. We can reach in here and shift the head. It is a little hard to turn due to all the apparatus there for the cement mixer, but it can be moved. You can likely turn it, but it is very difficult, especially with adult hands. You can raise his arms out to the side about so far. His arms do rotate at the shoulder all the way around, and they don't hit the cement drum, so that's even better. You can bend his arms at the elbow, or about 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. Although you gotta be careful that you don't pull his arms off like that. But he does have a swivel there, so you do have G.I. Joe battle grip. That elbow doesn't want to stay in like that, so we're going to quit playing with it. You can spread his legs apart into a full split. He unfortunately does not twist at the hip. So that's more of a design choice so that he can be a sturdier leg for Devastator. He does have a thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his legs at the knees 90 degrees. So all in all, you do get decent articulation, just one area sacrificed for the combiner. Okay, to transform Mixmaster, it's a relatively short process. For starters, we come around here to the mixing drum. You're going to pop the top section open and get it so that this green part flips out. Get it so it comes out and totally rests against the drum, and then you fold it back down. And snap it into place just like that. Okay, we had him mistransformed there. But apparently these panels should have been closed on him, but now you open them up. I should have known it was a mistake to trim my nails the other day. There we go. There we go. Get those open back up. Now, of course, once they're opened up, you'll press his legs together. So as you'll see, that forms the front of the truck. But then comes the fun part of getting him bent into the proper position to fit everything inside. First thing we do is we got to bend him at the ankles so that he folds down like so. And then we start doing some more bends. They want it to shift so that it goes upwards. And we can shift his waist around like so. Then start bending him at the knees. and at the hip. So that way we can start folding it inwards and get this green piece at his butt to go and line up with the cockpit. With the driver's compartment, excuse me. Alright, once that is complete and it's all snapped in, they have you fold these pieces up against him. These should have been down as well. But you get them all folded up so everything's all flush with his body, like so. Then we come here, we're going to lift up this portion of his chest. Just open up like that. Straighten his arms out. And we'll start shifting them at the shoulder so that they fold upwards. And then you'll be able to press them against the sides of his body. Because there's a little tab here protruding from the side, and it should line up with a hole in the plastic beyond his fist. There we go. Once you've done that, then you can fold down this purple piece, and it attaches to other protrusions on the arms. And then there you have it. Mixmaster is in his cement mixer alternate mode. And of course, he also has a spot on the roof for his gun. Very similar to the 1986 original, though it's on the other side. A slight change, but I do kind of like it. It works, it still works, although it would have been nice if they would have put in another hole on this side so that G1 purists would definitely enjoy it, but it works. The only real downside is that since with the way his legs and feet are folded up, the front wheels barely touch the ground. So while he does still roll decently, he is dragging a bit on the surface. So unfortunately, that is a little bit of a setback, and since it's under the front of the truck, it is very noticeable. So that's a major downside to it. But as we get in with my thoughts on Mixmaster, I do like how well the update did turn out. I mean, yeah, as I pointed out the flaw, I do not like how the feet folded up under there, and it keeps you from being able to have him roll properly. But other than that, everything else is a vast improvement on the original. The only other downside is how they did the drum. The drum can no longer be spun like it could on the original. But that's also a very minor gripe. The Studio Series is marketed towards older collectors, so the lack of having a spinning mixing drum isn't really that much of a big deal. But otherwise, he's got pretty good articulation. The less amount of accessories is also nice if you're looking for one loose. But all in all, in general, it's still a very fantastic toy. I do love it. And it makes me a little more interested to see how Devastator will turn out. At any rate, that's my look at the Studio 86 version of Mixmaster. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content on this channel, we would certainly appreciate likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. YouTube has altered their algorithm, so they do want to know that viewers are not only just watching, they want to know that viewers are engaging. So please do take the time to do any of those things. we here at the channel would certainly appreciate it. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.